Hey ladies, so today I want to talk about something that I have been thinking a lot about lately, that maybe we are misinterpreting and what the message behind this saying truly is. So have you ever heard, you get what you are, not what you want? Yes. And I was saying that same thing for a while. And just recently, I kind of had to take like a deeper thinking into that because I started reflecting back on some of the things that I was kind of going through, healing, releasing, and doing all of these things the last few weeks of my life here that God has had me working through. I am a good person. I'm a loving person. But that doesn't mean that that's all I'm going to attract, right? You can attract the very opposite of that as well. And that's where we kind of get it backwards. And what we attract and what we accept even goes a little deeper. So we'll touch back on that in just a moment. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you all here. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman, and so much more. And so if you like videos like this that talk about dating and self-worth and self-love and healing and so much more, please like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos like this. So yeah, ladies, we don't get what we want, but we do get what we think we deserve. You can be a loyal person and still get betrayed, right? You can be generous and still encounter people who want to take advantage of you or will take advantage of you. I don't want us as women walking around thinking like, well, if I'm attracting unhealthy people to me, then that means that I'm an unhealthy version of myself. I just want to say, no, that's not what I'm saying here. I do believe is that we get what we often accept, tolerate, and what we kind of remain connected to that kind of feels familiar based off of our childhood and different things like that, right? Because our nervous system, even if we don't really remember things, our nervous system remembers. Our bodies remember things. And so that is where our self-worth comes in to this conversation, because you can consciously say, I think we've all done this, to be honest, I want healthy love. I want financial abundance. I want that fulfilling career. I want amazing friendships. You want that dream life that we all dream of having. And so we kind of say that we want this incredible life, and we dream about it, and we're like, oh man, why can't we have this incredible life? Well, we can't have this incredible life when we are constantly not feeling worthy of having it. Somewhere down the road here that you're saying that you want these things, but then your thoughts are contradicting that thoughts. There's some healing that needs to be done somewhere, and some rewiring that needs to happen, because you're going back and forth, right? And that could be a really difficult thing to deal with. Like, you want something so bad, but then your thoughts are just like trying to talk you out of it because your mind is keeping you safe, per se, because your mind is only able to remember and bring up things that it has already seen, experienced, and done. If you are asking for your mind to give you a new idea, or you're asking your mind about something new, oh, your mind is going to quickly try to talk you right out of it because it doesn't feel safe to you, because it's never done it before. And that's where we have to really be discerning in our lives and really figure out, okay, is this something that we should go for? Like getting out of our comfort zone. And I think getting out of our comfort zone is a very positive thing, but we need to be discerning on what is worth it and what truly isn't. Because we can be a good person and still, unfortunately, struggle with feeling worthy of having your dream life. I had to learn this myself as well, because I know that I'm a good person. I may not be perfect. Who is, right? And I definitely have made mistakes, and I've hurt people down. I've had moments where I wasn't at the best version of myself, far from it. But I also know that I am not a bad person either. And yet, there are periods of my life where my choices, relationships, behaviors, and even the things that I tolerated didn't necessarily reflect how much I actually deserved those things. And that's when I had to start asking myself a few questions. If you know that you're a good person, why am I accepting things that doesn't feel good to me? And that's a completely different question, because this isn't about whether or not you're good or bad. This is more about what you've learned to believe about yourself. This all stems from mostly our childhood. And you may not even had a bad childhood, right? And I think sometimes, even me, the way that I talk about it, I say, oh, trauma and all of this. But, I was also thinking a little bit further more into this aspect too, is that you didn't have to necessarily have a bad childhood. You could have had loving parents. You could have had parents that did the best that they possibly could with the information that they knew. And I think a lot of parents try to have that. Maybe you had a beautiful childhood overall, and yet there may have been moments in your younger years that your younger self interpreted things differently than the adults around you truly realized. And I think they may not even still realize it to this day, unless they are maybe listening to content like this, because it seems such like a simple thing, especially as like a busy adult and a mom myself, right? I can understand where this can kind of come from, and I don't know how to go about it to like not have it happen to to anyone. I don't, still kind of even stuck on that myself, trying to figure out like, well, what is another option for this? Still thinking about it, but maybe you can some ideas in the comments. So basically what I'm trying to get to is that maybe, your parents had a very great life, right? Their best to give you that wonderful life that you had. But imagine being that little girl or that little boy, and you are waiting for your parents to come home, and you are so excited to finally see them. And of course, you want their attention. You want them to play with you. And when they finally come home, you get to ask, you're running to the door, mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, can you play with me? And you're so excited. And then they say, oh, not right now, honey. I have to make dinner, and mom is making dinner, dad is doing something else. Maybe he's working on fixing something in the house, or maybe he's just taking a moment to breathe as well. You take that as that a meaning of like they don't love you. But you're a child, you don't know any better, right? You're just taking because you were so excited to see them. You so wanted them to pay this attention to you and play with you and love on you and be all about you, right? But they didn't, and it was crushing to you. So you took that as they don't love you. Once you get that in your head, it kind of turns and kind of starts affecting your self-worth. And so when you're going through this, right, your little mind interprets all of this as, oh, they don't want to spend time with me. And maybe you start thinking things like, oh, I'm not important, my needs are too much, I shouldn't ask for so much attention, oh, I'm just bothering people. And you don't even consciously know that you are creating that belief within yourself. And guess what? You end up carrying that belief year from year from year. And then what also happens is you kind of keep chucking more under that, right? If they don't play with you at another time, see, or if they're maybe yelling at you because you did something wrong, and now you're taking that as like a personal attack on yourself. And it just is easy to have that self-worth really diminished at such a young age. But I don't think parents or children really are even understanding it until most recently. A lot of people are now doing this healing work and talking more openly about their different situations and their feelings on things. We can finally see what those things meant for that little mind. Like I said, I don't know how to fix it to not have that happen in the future generations, but we have to kind of take a closer look at that, because it's really interesting to me. There's pros and cons to it. And you're like having to make dinner because you've worked all day, you're probably starving Marvin, and the kids are hungry too. You're not really doing anything malicious, but the kids don't understand that neither. So that's why I think everyone should do a little bit of healing, no matter if you had a good childhood or not, because sometimes people who have had the best childhood still could have some bumps in the road where their self-worth was attacked. Your childhood now leads into adolescent years, and then your young adult, and now as many more things are happening as you're getting older, you're chucking even more things of saying like, see, that's why I'm not worthy, or I shouldn't ask for things and things like that. And then you may have become like ultra independent, right? Like now you are really focused on being successful and having this amazing career and things like that. And I think that's where a lot of women are getting stuck these days. You could still be successful and still feel unworthy of many things in your life. Have that nice job, you can have that beautiful body, you can dress nicely, you can have that amazing house and that career, and even have a good relationship. You could post all of the beautiful pictures on social media, but deep down you can still feel that you are not enough. You can still feel that you're lucky to have what you have. You can still feel like somebody is going to take it away if you don't, work harder to keep it. You can still feel like you don't even deserve to have any more. Like maybe you feel that you got lucky and this is all that it's gonna, come be. You can also still feel uncomfortable for receiving the things that you have. You can feel guilty of spending money on yourself. You can even still feel guilty for wanting more. Oh, so many people feel guilty for wanting more because of what the world and your family and your friends and everything else tries to making wanting more. They make it sound like it's such a malicious thing. But wanting more is just a beautiful thing. And wanting more is like a human, it's always good to want more, because that means that you're having drive. That means that you're looking for change. Because if you don't want more, then there's no push or drive to ever change. You're just gonna stay that same version of yourself and accept whatever life is gonna give you, because you feel like this is what it is. This is all you deserve. And don't get trapped in that mindset, okay? Wanting more is a bad thing, because wanting more is not. It's healthy, it's very good. And like I said, it helps you grow and expand and keep on becoming a better version of you. That's why when I say like self-worth affects your quality of life, because the outside circumstances don't always tell the whole story of what's going on internally in your minds and in your hearts. What do you believe you deserve today? As you are listening to this, I want you to ask some questions, but I want you to also pay attention to the feelings that you get in your body when you ask yourself these questions. Are you feeling tightness in your chest, or clenching in your shoulders, or really like uncomfortable feelings in your belly when you are asking yourself some of these questions? If you are feeling any like of these feelings in your body, that is a sign that you are not really feeling worthy of having those things. The first thing I want you to do is be honest with yourself. It's you against you, babe. And you have to be honest with yourself in order to really be able to overcome these things that may be keeping you from truly being who you are always meant to be. You're feeling unworthy, you're feeling not good enough, you're feeling like you're gonna lose it all if you even look different. Here are some questions that I want you to ask yourself, and listen to what your mind says, but also listen to what your body says. Do you believe that you deserve healthy love? Do you believe in healthy love? Do you believe that you deserve a partner who can communicate with you? Do you believe that you deserve someone who respects you? Do you believe that you deserve to make more money? Do you deserve to have a beautiful home? Do you deserve that you get to rest sometimes? Do you believe that you deserve to receive and not always for you to be the giver? Do you deserve to be supported? Do you have a problem asking for somebody to support you in different areas? Do you believe that you deserve opportunities? Do you believe that you deserve to be seen, or that you deserve to take up space? Do you feel deserving of a new life? Do you believe that you can change your life and live a good one or a better one? Here is another important question. Your current choices reflect those beliefs, right? So if you're saying, oh yeah, I believe it. Does your current choices reflect that? And does your current beliefs and self-talk reflect that as well? Because that's where the truth really starts to show up, okay? Because if your actions and your self-talk are not aligned with your answers, that means that you truly don't believe that you deserve that thing. I want you ladies to hear me loud and clear on this. We need to stop building our lives around what you think other people are going to accept or understand about your life. I think we are scared of being judged or people, saying things. But let me just share something with you, okay? I've seen this going wild, especially the last few months. No matter what you do, love, somebody's gonna want to judge you, okay? Somebody's gonna judge you for being too much, in their opinion. Someone's gonna judge you for being not enough, in their opinion. Somebody's gonna judge you loving yourself too much, or when you're doing whatever. They always are going to judge you, no matter what. And if it's not one person that's gonna judge you, it's gonna be another. So stop worrying about people criticizing you, what they're gonna think, trying to create this life that's gonna make everybody happy and you're gonna just live a happily ever after life. But will you truly be able to live a happily ever after life if you are trying to make everyone else happy besides yourself? Probably not. You'll probably feel happy in the beginning because you got some cheap dopamine hits of the newness. But once that newness starts to wear off, you're gonna be like, yep, this is not what I wanted. Create the life that you truly want. Create the version of you of who you truly are. And the people who can't hack it will fall away. And that may be sad in one sense, but it's also a blessing in another. Find us doing too is ourselves, right? But comparison can definitely keep us stuck because we don't know what that person actually gone through to get where they are or have what they have. We are just judging because, oh my goodness, look at them. You're looking at them, judging them, comparing yourself to them because they have the life maybe that you want or parts of it, right? But you also have to really remember too, you're comparing yourself to somebody who's only showing you their best. So stop looking on social media, even with your neighbors. They're not showing you their arguments and, their bills and all of that, right? They're only showing you what they want the world to see. So just focus on what you want. Focus on what you need to do today to start building your life and becoming that version of you. That's why I am such a big advocate for healing our self-worth, right? Because our self-worth is really the big component of everything that we have. So if our self-worth is not at its best, then we are going to feel unworthy of receiving. Right? Receiving a new job, receiving that raise, receiving a healthy relationship, all types of things. I mean, our self-worth really affects every area of our life. You can end up getting that relationship. You can receive that healthy love, questioning whether you deserve it or not. You can get the money, but can you actually hold on to it without immediately self-sabotaging it? Like spending it all because, oh my goodness, it doesn't feel right that you have so much? Because I think so many people do that too, right? Get money and then they're spending it because it doesn't feel right for them to have it. If you are on the path of healing your self-worth, or maybe you haven't started that journey yet, I'm here to tell you that healing your self-worth is going to be a very important part of your journey, where, like I said, you get a lump sum of money, or your business is finally starting to take off, but you can't hold $1 to save your life because you're just spending it because that's just what you are so used to doing, especially if you were always living like paycheck to paycheck. You don't feel safe saving money and having a savings there. Be careful with that, because self-sabotage can actually really be a self-worth issue, where I think this is where a lot of people too self-sabotage themselves on their weight loss journeys. They self-sabotage themselves with procrastinating, or pushing people away because they don't feel comfortable with having people close to them. Lots of different things, and that is one thing that I have you look at in my healing program of healing your self-worth is self-sabotage, because I felt that was a huge part for me. I was procrastinating, pushing people away, and I don't know, I just always seemed to never able to move forward because I was always self-sabotaging myself in one shape or form or another. And it was just it was so frustrating. Finally kind of understood it, right? Because for a long time, you don't even recognize that you're doing it because it's just part of who you are. At least that's what you think it is, until you start doing some of this work. And you don't have to become perfect to be worthy, but you do have to make sure that you are forgiving yourself for the things that you allowed in the past that you didn't quite understand. You have to really even forgive the others as well. Forgiving your parents, especially if it was a simple thing of oh, sorry, I'm busy, I have to make dinner, know any better. They were just doing the best that they could. So you have to forgive them and release that grudge, because if you are constantly holding on to that grudge, it is just going to build up very sickness and bad things within your body. A lot of people think rich is just about financial abundance, but rich can be so much more than that. You can be rich in love. Oh yes, girl. You can be rich in joy and peace and purpose. You can be rich in meaningful relationships. You could be rich in experiences. Oh yes, I love to be rich in experiences. Rich in confidence, rich in freedom, rich in fulfillment. Because what good is having everything on the outside if you don't feel anything on the inside? What good is having a beautiful home if you don't feel peaceful inside of it? What good is having money if you are constantly feeling afraid of losing it? What good is looking beautiful if you hate the person looking back at you in the mirror every day? And this is why self-worth matters, because the ultimate goal isn't just to have more. It is to become someone who you can actually experience and appreciate the life that she is creating for yourself and for your family. Unfortunately, healing does take time. It is not a wham bam thank you ma'am type of deal. No. I want to give you permission to understand that it does take time, right? I find so many people saying oh, but you can skip this and skip that, and but when you are healing your self-worth and you're really doing this deep work within yourself, you don't really want to skip things, because that can really later affect your life badly in a different way. Especially, like I said, your self-worth is attached to so many different levels in your life. It's not just about how you feel about yourself. It's you even show up as the version of you. It's how you feel about yourself. It's about you feeling good no matter if it's good or not right now. So healing your self-worth is such an important part of this healing journey and coming back to yourself. And give yourself grace on this journey. Healing, like I said, it's a process. You know, you're learning to trust yourself. You're learning to listen to yourself more. You're learning to honor your needs finally, because a lot of times when you're feeling unworthy, you don't really listen to your needs too much because you're so worried about making other people happy, or, you know, worrying about what they're gonna say and think about you. At least for me, that's kind of where I was. And, you know, you're learning to communicate in a whole different way. You're learning to become emotionally mature. You're learning to stop abandoning yourself. And you are learning to stop settling for things that are not for the best version of you. And all of that is such a beautiful thing, because when you're all done, you can finally become that dream version of you. And that, my friends, that is very powerful. Are you ready to stop settling? Are you ready to heal that self-worth of yours? If you are, I have a beautiful program for you. I will link the link to my website in the description. And it's 10 modules. And like I said, it helps, you know, heal your, see and heal where you're self-sabotaging yourself. It helps you look at different ways where you can give yourself self-love and self-care. It also helps you rewire your brain to think something differently, because unfortunately, when we have a low self-worth, our self-talk is pretty terrible about a lot of things, right? We're always in our heads questioning everything and looking at the worst case scenarios in many areas. Explain how to rewire your brain to think a different way. And, you know, you do have to dismantle your limiting beliefs on so many different things. So we talk about that in there. We talk about, after, you know, the healing is all said and done, becoming that new version of you, which is shifting your identity to the healed version. Because if you heal, but you don't shift your identity as that healed version of you, you're gonna still make choices as the unhealed version of you. So the identity shifting is so key in all of this, to really make sure that you are showing up as that new version of you. Next level is going to require a new identity. It's not going to match the person you were before you said yes to healing. And that is a great gift that you can give yourself, that you give your family and friends and everyone else around you as well. So ladies, you know, saying yes to healing is going to be one of the greatest gifts that you can give to yourself. You don't have to become somebody else to be worthy. You don't have to earn love. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to, you know, earn respect. You don't have to earn the right to dream. You don't have to shrink yourself to fit in someone else comfortable, you know, version of you. You're allowed to want a beautiful life. You are allowed to want more, and you're allowed to have more, okay? Only way that you're gonna be able to really get more and keep it is doing this healing work. Because if you want it, right? You can want it. But if you don't feel worthy of it, it's not gonna come back to you. Because you're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to think negatively about it. It's just going to be lots of going back and forth things. And you're going to be like, Why isn't anything changing? Well, because consciously you wanted, but subconsciously you're saying, no, pump the brakes, stop. It's too much. Just know that you deserve the life that you always have dreamed of having. You deserve to feel good about yourself, and just know you are worthy, you are loved, you are valuable, and you are deserving of it all. And you can heal, you can grow, you can change, and you can become the greatest version of you yet. So if you're ready, I'm ready, and you can say yes to healing. And I love you, ladies, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.